All right, guys, this is a humbling experience for me. Thank you for inviting me. I work in the Torolab, which is a loose-based collective effort, and we basically work with ideas that people have of how to live better, in a multidisciplinary way. So first of all, we start with diagnostics. We are diagnostics of places that are very hard to read, and then we turn them into projects like the Cooperativa Mexicana de Alimentos, which is the cooperative of Mexican workers of food, in which with molecular urbanism theories that we have about the changes in the bodies of Mexican personas with their everyday relationship with food and how that affects the body of the city and vice versa, we ended up doing this food product that is a map for us about what we don't have in terms of the nutritional nutrients in the Mexican diet in terms of vitamin A, B6, C, D, E, iron, and calcium. It even has 9 grams of protein, and it tastes great. And we put it out there, and every time that we put it out, we sold out. So this is the first background. The second one, we were working in the idea of home territories, language, and family integration, specifically with one community called the Yumiang people that don't have a really a written language, and they made their trip from refugee camps all the way to Oakland, California, where we found them. And in order to integrate them, because the father didn't know English and the kid didn't know Yumiang, and if they don't have a written language, that's where it stops. So we ended up working these organic farms with them, in which we sold the food products to the local schools in Oakland. But at the end, I mean, we were negotiating with local government, with federal government, with art and academic institutions and civil society, and at the end, I mean, why couldn't we do the same thing in our home, in Tijuana, Baja California, and there is a simple, Jesus, there you go. There is a simple answer to have a small intervention that have territorial impact. You have to build a framework. There is a word in Spanish that I love that is gestión. And gestión, you have to take it into consideration if you're going to do creative processes. And it's not only about management, but it's actually about, how could I tell you, about giving birth and take it all the way, but you have to build the political and social framework to do it. So we went to the Planning Institute. I mean, if I tell you we went to 40 minutes, we didn't go to any. And we ended up doing this strategic axis to the plan for the next 20 years, specifically for creative strategies, so they could have impact in the territory. So at the same time, in Tijuana, the most busy land border crossing in the world, we started working with civil society, looking at the perimeter where we have not only poverty, but nutritional poverty, where 4 people in your family don't have the income to buy a basic basket for your intake, And we saw one perimeter. The other perimeter was about crime rate. Again, this perimeter of 43,000 persons. And then of people committed into jails for violent crimes and sadly to juvenile halls, and that's where Camino Verde comes in. Camino Verde is this community that was famous in the 90s because the mudslides that killed so many people over there, and then there was this destruction and a path made by the rain and the mud. And then the government came and did just this infrastructure, They make this canal that not only divided the neighborhood, into gigantic gangs, that it's full of crystal meth labs and stuff. I mean, when we arrived 3 years ago, the police station was abandoned, used by drug dealers. I think the only good thing that the people of the government did this freaking football field, that is slanted, so if you're playing Real Madrid or Barcelona and they're in the uphill, we have a chance. And so what we started to do, we got, the best professor of creative writing that translates Bukowski in Spanish, Roberto Castillo, and we focused first in about almost 2,000 persons, and then a group of 100 persons. and then we focus on 50. And we started to do this participatory creative writing and reading studios, focusing a lot not only in kids, but in head of households, which is another issue, no? Because the majority of the 70% of this neighborhood is run by moms, no? And 41% is single mothers, no, that are left. This was an invasion. Nobody owns their land. They live illegally. Right? It's a 30-year-old neighborhood from all over Mexico and Central America. No? So we did this cookbook. This cookbook not only with the recipes and their stories, but with the understanding of where they are right now, where they were, and where they want to be, to see if we could build the vocation of a project, and that's where the farm comes in. The farm, or the Transborder Farm Lab, and we have terrible names in Torolab. It's not about border with the US or the natural border that we have with China in Tijuana, but border of disciplines. And the farming of food, yeah, we will have it, but it's actually a farming of knowledge, education, and basically capacities to get better jobs. Why? Because when we were working with this head of household, if we're doing a project about the relationship of city and food, in a place that not only has a lot of violence, but it has nutritional poverty, that's the one that hurts the most, no? They wanted a project that they will be engaged through economical vocation. So we did a project that will have personal impact, communal impact, and territorial impact. These are the phone calls in, I think, 2 months to the 911. People actually don't call that much. But as you can see all over the canal, no, it's a contested territory. And right there where there were more calls that crimes were happening, that's the terrain that we asked for. No, and basically we started building our farm. But at the first stage of a farm in a place that don't have land to ¿cómo se llama? To farm. Well, it's a school. And this is great because we basically are building a school that is ours, no? That we're building this capacity that turn into economies. And I'm inviting you guys over to come on over and participate with us. No, like a friend of ours that is working in a mental institute that built one of the best yogurts in the world in Spain told us, no, we cannot go back. No, I mean, to go back is an insane asylum that we built all together, right? So we can only move forward. And if this project works, well, imagine if we if we affect 8,200 families in 12 years, that will happen. But if it's replicable, Tijuana and Baja California's state could be the first state in modern Mexican history that could actually be overcome nutritional poverty. And if that happens through an art intervention, it could be fantastic. So I invite you guys to come on over and help. And fill out this thing outside. It's great because art matters, I think.